All right, we're in the tool shed. We're gonna do a little update. It is October 7th, I think. And yeah, we're just getting to the end of the mowing season, which is cool. You know, I think that we're ready. We're ready for the mowing season to be over. I know I am. I know that Jave definitely is. So, we're looking forward to getting leaves. That's my favorite time of year. I love leaves. It's such a violent and just like beautifully efficient machine. I mean, we have all of the machines. We have the trailer. We have the debris loader. It is just all day, headphones on, leaf blower blasting leaves, and it's my favorite time of year because we make good money and we do everything with like speed and aggression, and it's my favorite. So I'm ready for that. The projects are pretty much wrapped up. We got all of our projects done, and we're ready to just do fall cleanups. That's the MO for the rest of the season. I think things are going in the right direction still. We had a few hiccups along the way, as any business does every single year. But none of the issues. I've been in a little bit of a slump because we had several unfortunate things happen all in a row. But I don't want to really get into those because some of those are like, one of them is a legal matter, and I really don't want to talk about that one. But it's nothing. It's not like I didn't do anything illegal. It's just, someone was upset with us, but whatever. So dealing with that. But I'm not letting that get in the way of my goals. So, everything seems like it's going in the right direction. I just want to really think about like goals now. Like, I'm not so overboard with like just trying to get jobs and get everything on the get a schedule. But it's like really cleaning up my act and organization is really like the goal that I want to set forth for myself, is really like adhering to a proper schedule, not just keeping things in my brain, and selling more jobs and really figuring out like, okay, what is the next step for me? Do I get out of the field more and hire one or two more guys who are good and can really take the field work off my plate? I think that's really the goal that I want to go for next year. There's a few guys that have contacted me this year that are interested in working, but I told them that I'm not hiring at the time. So, but I would be interested in talking and interviewing and possibly trying to find a position for them in the coming springtime. That's the goal for them, is to try and find a position for them, really outline a proper position with really beating down what is expected of the guys, and really systematizing our procedures and everything so that everyone's on the same page. They're expectations are laid out and they're clear, and the goals are clear, and everyone's just on the same page, and we all just chase for victory together. Because if I'm doing good, they're gonna do good. We're gonna have nicer things, equipment. That's one of the things. It's the end of the season, and I think a lot of landscapers are in the same boat. Towards the end of the season, everything wants to break because it's just been pushed really hard for the season. A lot of our mowers need they're running, but there's like little things, like one of the caster wheels bearings exploded on one of the riders, so we need to replace some of those. That's like wintertime activities at this rate, because the mowing season is basically over. So we'll just make a list of things that need to get done for the winter to get those things running at tip-top shape so that we're not stranded next year. But then also just figuring like what I want to do about trucks and equipment for next year. One of the things I want to really do to increase efficiency is buy a small Ranger or Colorado or something small, single cab, 6-foot bed. And why I want that is because we have a garage over in Drexel Hill that's near the bulk of our mowing customers and everything like that. We're up here in Newtown Square, and that usually costs us like an hour of efficiency every single day. Or if it costs us an hour per guy of travel. So if you got 2 guys in a truck, there's 2 man hours that are just thrown out to the wind. So if we can minimize that and put a small truck in our garage over in Drexel Hill that has, we'll rip the whole bed off the back. We'll put a nice flat bed on there so we can put the racks for the weed whackers and the blowers and the gas cans and the push mower, and we'll probably get like a small 36 or maybe like a 48. I'm debating which one would work better for us. 36 would be great because it can fit in more backyards, but a 48 would be a little bit more efficient in the front yard. So trying to figure out exactly what would make sense for that, because we can only take 1 mower in a small little truck like that. So it might make more sense to have a 48 with a push mower. That's more the side that I'm leaning on. So that's the goal for next year, is to have that. We have enough money in the bank to buy new mower, maybe like a 2010 Ranger with 60,000 miles on it. If we can get that, plus the bed, plus all the racks, plus everything, we're probably looking at like a $15,000-$16,000 investment. But if it saves us, $150 a day multiplied by 5 days a week, that's 150, 300, 600, 750. So even if we work 6 days a week, well, we'll say 750 times like 20. So we're talking about 15 grand. It'll pay for itself in 1 season. Just an efficiency gained. That's huge. And we'll have that truck if we get something that is relatively low mileage. It won't drive that far because it's going to be at the garage, which is literally that radius that we have is so tight in Drexel Hill. It will only drive like 5 miles a day probably. So we won't use gas. Yeah, so that's the other thing. We're gonna save so much gas because the truck that we use for mowing right now gets 4 miles to the gallon. So a Ranger might get 15, 20. It might get 20. So it will save us a lot of gas, save us a lot of time. It might save us $1,000 a week. Insurance will be less. Probably, if we do the math, it's probably going to save $1,000 a week. Multiplied by 26, 27, by 30 weeks worth of mowing, it's going to save us $30,000. So it'll pay for itself in half of a season, actually. So we could have 2. We could buy 2. We won't do that, but maybe if it makes sense, we'll do that. But anyway, it will save a huge amount of money on the expense side, and just the efficiency of the guys. And the guys will be happy so that they don't have to drive all the way back up here to drive all the way back home. Jabe lives in Drexel Hill right now, and he'll be able to get up. He could walk to the garage and get in the truck and start mowing. So yeah, and if we could have like single man crews in 2 different trucks, I mean, that would be big too. But more than likely we have two guys. It just works out better from like when you're working solo all the time, it's really like it gets overbearing. I know how that goes. So nice to have at least another guy that can bring you back to earth, have someone to talk to. It's nice. Anyway, that's kind of the goal for next year for the mowing side. Still want to really push patios and putting greens and artificial turf and all that stuff. Really want to work on marketing myself a little bit more next year, and that'll be kind of a part of me stepping out of the field somewhat so that I can spend more time doing that. Because I'm almost scared to market right now because I work in the field every single day, and I know myself. I know that it's tough for me to answer emails and answer text messages and all that stuff. So I want to be ready when we're investing a good bit of money in marketing. So to be where I'm at right now and virtually have nothing gone towards marketing, I can't really be that mad. So if we put a a few dollars towards marketing, plus some time for me to really sell jobs, and really have a solid sales program for myself, whatever you want to say, sales process, we'll call it, for myself, to really sell jobs. That will be major. That's like one lever I haven't even really tapped into. I just show up at a property, give them an estimate, and like that can be refined so much. So yeah, if that can really be one of my main jobs next year, I could probably double, if not triple, the business with the right guys and with the right pay structure. That's another goal for next year, is to really change the pay structure from just a simple hourly wage to a base rate plus a bonus for the amount of hours completed. So like, so that way they get a revenue, they get paid based on the percentage of labor that they produce for the business. So that would be massive. If they were motivated by that to really increase efficiency, our efficiency will be like amazing. If we have the truck over in Drexel Hill, the guys are knocking out lawns, knocking out jobs, things like are running just like a T. We'll be so much more profitable. So yeah, like this year went pretty good. I think now we have the money to invest in something like that. Next year's going to be amazing, as long as the economy doesn't take a dump. That provide a great service for everyone, increase prices a little bit. We'll murder it next year. Like, that's my goal, is to like, I want, if you all live in Drexel Hill, Havertown, any of those areas, and I want you to see my truck every single day going through those neighborhoods. If you're thinking landscaping, the first thing that comes to your thought is Jack Mack. You saw those trucks all over the place. Jack Mack is the name for landscaping. That's the goal. Sorry to all my buddies out there who are other landscapers in the area, dude. My goal is to squash you. And whatever I need to do to make that a reality is what I'm going to do. So the only way that you could possibly beat me is if you're just cheaper than me. So good luck playing that game, because you're never going to make money. We are going to be the most efficient. We're going to be the best quality service. We're going to be the best in terms of customer, just taking care of our customers from a, back end admin position. We're going to be the first ones to answer our phone. We're never going to let anyone down. It's going to be insane. That's the goal, is to just be like a perfectly well-oiled machine that just destroys. That's the goal. That's all I want to talk about today.